It's a new podcast with the same person talking the same shit, but a whole new energy. Oh, let's fucking grow energy. Let's finally grow. Let's finally grow together. We are leveling up from spilling the tequila everywhere. It was getting messy. And you know what? We're going to grow from it. We're going to level the fuck up. So LFG, baby. It's a new era. We're all in this together. We're all in this together once we know. Is having a boyfriend embarrassing? Am I single as fuck? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking grow. Welcome to a brand new podcast that you have never heard before. We are revamping. We are evolving. We are no longer spilling tequila. We are finally growing. So I am going to present to you the first episode of our brand new adventure together called LFG. Let's finally grow. Let's fucking grow. Honestly, we've got a lot of names spinning around. Let's fucking grow. But it's going to be let's finally grow. We're going to keep it appropriate, but we all know the real meaning. Let's fucking grow. I loved spilling tequila. It was so fun, an entire year of doing so. But I also created that name and that vision when I was at such a low point. And I think I didn't have the same excitement that I have now with my creativity. So we are evolving in life. There's so many great things to say about it. I mean, it shows that we can change at any second, no matter how scary it is. No matter what we think other people are going to think of it. If we feel like we want to be something else, if we want to evolve into something else, we can do it. You can do it. And honestly, we're fucking doing it. So let's fucking grow. This is going to be a problem because let's fucking go is like, it is that saying. It's like LFG, but like that's the energy that we are bringing. We are providing. So there's still going to be shit ton of humility because growth doesn't mean like, okay, we're finally growing. Let's finally grow. Like we're going to be perfect and pinkies up and champagne and whatever. No, that's not what it's about to be about. It's going to be like, all right, come on. Let's finally grow. Like the way you say it has a lot of meaning behind it. It's like, oh, let's do a little bit better. Let's grow from that. Let's not go revisit that same situation again. And then like we evolve into like another humiliating situation. And we're like, oh, okay, let's finally grow from that one too. Let's finally fucking grow. That's how we're saying it. Okay. So it's not like we're better than anyone. We're finally growing. I think you get the point. I think you get it. And if you don't get it, you're going to get it by listening to these episodes and seeing the involvement. And spilling tequila, that doesn't have to be gone forever. Maybe it will make a comeback in another way. Maybe we'll spill tequila around the world. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe there's something else in store. But regardless, well, let's get back to episode 1. It's still like season 2 though. Like it's season 2 of a podcast. We're not completely starting over. We are evolving. What are we going to get into today on this new episode? I feel so free. I feel like this is a whole new like platform. I'm a new person. We're all growing together. Like it's really good energy. We're going into new seasons. I don't really fucking care that the holidays are coming around. They add pressure. So let's grow and look past it. Something I wanted to talk about today, and I thought it was kind of an iconic way to kick off a new podcast, was the article that Vogue recently came out with about having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Having a boyfriend is embarrassing. And I wanted to get into like what the article actually said, what a bunch of people assume that it says just from hearing about this article, and my deep, dark, dirty, growing thoughts on it. So let's pop on in. So this Vogue article wasn't flat out saying that having a boyfriend was embarrassing point blank. It was kind of going through the involvement of what the trend of having a boyfriend has looked like when it comes to social media and how people are not really showcasing if they have a boyfriend as much, and people aren't really enjoying that content anymore, when before it was such a big trend. Like, people were obsessed with people who had boyfriends who they would travel with and were super rich, and like if you had a boyfriend, you were almost the it girl just because you had a man. And it's kind of like, no, we're evolving into something more. We can be our own lady. We are the prize. Let's not forget that. But it's also now turned into like a double-edged sword, because now people are going to such an extreme, thinking like, no boyfriend content ever. And it's like, which direction do we want to go? Now, when it comes to the social status gain and financial gain, I'm happy that that trend is going out the door, because we are so much better than dating someone and being cool or feeling accepted because of what they can provide for us. There is nothing wrong with dating a man of status. There is nothing wrong with dating a man who has finances in check, loaded up. Nothing wrong with those things if that is your person. But doing it for those reasons is kind of like a flex that's going out of style. Like, that girls are even noticing that and talking about that, because now girls are pushing themselves to do more and see more of what they're capable of. And it's like, you can be the most badass boss ass bitch in the world and do so well for yourself and still get a man like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but you can do something for you first. And the trend shouldn't be that all of these girls are admiring these girls who found rich men, men of status, you know, girls dating athletes, or like, I don't know, like just men that have a label and taking from that. But at the same time, there is always an authentic and genuine version too. Like, not every single person, not every single girl that is dating someone of status is doing it just because of the man. And I think a lot of people really do get caught up with that idea. Like, they can't think that like a girl would just date a guy who has become very successful, has, you know, done something well for himself, and they can't think that that guy can also be a really cool person that like a girl can get along with and bond with. So it really is two different perspectives on both of it. Like, not everyone who is rich is a bad person. And that's also a concept that I think really needs to change. And it's not wrong for a girl to date someone who's rich or of status. And they're not just dating someone who is rich or of status. So two things can be true. If the girl is dating someone just because the person's rich and to get the status, I'm happy that's going out. People aren't admiring it. Girls are wanting to build themselves out. If a girl is dating someone and that's their partner, that's their person, and they are rich and they are of status, and it's a whole different perspective, you do you, sweetie. You found your person, and I'm like, go fucking get it, Tiger. You won on a bunch of levels. Now, this article really does go through like the lens of social media and what people want to see. And it really says that before, like, it was all about like hard launching to gain status off of whoever you were dating, and people love to see that. And then now it's grown more into like hard launching with like a hand on a steering wheel or like subtly in the background. And I think that's cool. Like, I think that's really, really cool. Honestly, my last relationship that ended, like, I don't even know, 2 years ago at this point, I wouldn't post him on social media. And like, I liked him so much, I just didn't want to post him on social media because it felt like a lot of pressure. And we were having so much fun together. I kind of wanted to keep that to myself before sharing it with the world. And like, my boyfriend at the time got very annoyed with me by that. And it sucked that like he felt insecure by it. And I did everything I could to like try to help him with it. And even like he got me flowers, and like I posted that. Like my boyfriend got me flowers, and like I didn't like necessarily put him, but it's because I didn't want everyone going and stalking like his life and our relationship. And I just think we live in a world where it's like there shouldn't be that much pressure of you sharing your relationship on social media and not. Like, if you want to share your relationship on social media, cool. If it's genuine and like you're having fun and it's a part of your life, no harm about it. But like if you also don't want to do it and keep it to yourself, like that shouldn't be a factor that makes people insecure. There has to be something else going on that's making that person insecure, because like if you know what you have, then just enjoy it. There was another part of the article that said that it was culturally loserish to be obsessed with your boyfriend. And what I have to say about that is, if I'm not obsessed with my boyfriend, that's not going to be my man. That is not, like, what? I better be obsessed with my boyfriend. I'm not going to, that sounds like I'm just dating someone for status or like financial gain, what I can get out of the relationship, and not actually to like be in the relationship, because that better be my person. Like, I'm obsessed with myself and I'm obsessed with my friends. So that's a theme I have going on over here. Like, if you're a person in my life and I love you and we are having fun, like, I am going to be obsessed with you. So, and then it went into like further saying people are scared to post on social media because like, what if their relationship ends? And I get that. I get that so deeply. One of my like longest relationship, when we were going through tough times, like, I don't think the article said anything about this. I was definitely posting us for the wrong reasons. Like, online, our relationship looked like we were having the time of our lives, when it was like bombs were hitting every single day in the background. Like, the fighting was so bad. The going back and on and off with one another was so bad. Like, it was worse than anyone could ever imagine. And then I was like, we're in Mexico. Happy holidays from us. And like, it was fake as shit in that perspective. Like, so many people thought I had a great relationship and were shocked when we broke up. And or thinking to myself now, like, everyone that genuinely knows me and is close to me was praying, begging for the day that I broke up with this man. So it's just funny how that works. And I think that when we did break up and I had to remove all of those posts, it was so hard for me. Like, I'll never forget how that felt. It was so painful because I had not only created this false narrative online of like him and I being good and like sharing all these memories. It was kind of like I had to like rip the Band-Aid off and admit that it wasn't what it was. And it was just like an extra layer of like people knowing my business when like I had to get out of something that was so not easy to get out of. And I get that. I get that completely, because there is the chance that the relationship could end. And like, when a relationship ends, you don't have to explain why it ended, how it ended to anyone, because even you trying to explain it, people will never get it because they weren't in the relationship to understand. And it's already so hard to get out of that. That's just unnecessary. So I get that completely. And I think that that's a really smart reality of not wanting to share it. Something that the article said that truly caught my attention. I want to give it like 100% Rotten Tomatoes, like off the charts, 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Oh, it said boyfriends won't come back in style until they start acting right. And like, chef's kiss. That is so good, because that sounds to me like ladies are waking up, like through the lens of me not having a boyfriend right now and not having a candidate in my life that would be my boyfriend right now. Otherwise, that person would be my boyfriend. I think that there is so much pressure in society of people looking at you wondering, why are you single? What's going on? Like, why is a girl like you single? You must be crazy. If if you look good and you're single, you're the problem. And it's like, no. Like, one, I'm not settling for the bare minimum. Two, I'm not settling for something that's not for me. And when these men want to stop with their rosters and literally looking at women as sex objects and putting women in categories of, you know, that girl I just fuck around with, and then that girl like I would date, and then dating them both at the same time, you know, when they just stop looking at us as like a game of like what they need to do to get sex from us, then, you know, we can glorify boyfriends. And the boyfriends that are being loyal and treating a woman like a queen, I do want to see that content on social media. That doesn't make me feel less than. That shows me it exists, and, you know, that can be glorified. Like, show the men, other men, show the rest of the men what it takes to be a boyfriend. Because men think that girls just want a relationship so bad that they can act however they want, and if you're lucky, they'll date you. And that's just not how it goes. Actually, another story time. I had a friend who was like not a good friend, obviously, very short-lived. I was talking to this guy and things went south, and long story short, like, I met a girl that he dated before. And when I was talking about it to like my friend at the time, her first response after me, you know, just going through this shitty situation with this guy and being like so upset about it, and then meeting a girl that he dated before, and like me and that girl were talking about how shitty he was, like that's what we had to talk about, wasn't that he was a good boyfriend. My quote unquote friend at the time said to me, oh, so he does date girls, like he does make it to that next level. And what she meant by that was she viewed situations as, if a guy had a girlfriend before, then that makes me the problem, that he wouldn't date me because then maybe I wasn't girlfriend material. And honestly, it's embarrassing that like I was friends with someone like that, but it was like for 2 months. So like, you know, wasn't a bestie. And honestly, it's more sad that like, you know, she thinks that society really is that way, because obviously in that situation the only thought is to like be good enough for the man, rather than being like two equals, getting along, kicking it, having chemistry, you know, really digging the other person and going with it. So yeah, no more friends like that again, please. The end of the article said something that really stood out to me, and it said, obviously there's no shame in falling in love, but there's also no shame in trying and failing to find it, or not trying at all. And I like that a lot, because right now I am so single, but that's because I haven't met someone that I want to date right now. And I'm tired of living in like a world where it's like, why aren't you dating? Which I've already touched on that earlier. And it's like, no, like I'm genuinely single right now and happy. And I will post content and say, imagine not having a boyfriend and being happy. And it's not to like shame men in any way or say that having a boyfriend is bad. It's kind of like to promote to other girls like, hey, if you want to get out of that relationship, fucking run, and you can be happy single too. Or to make girls that are like similar, like in a similar situation to me, feel like they're not alone. Like, it is okay to be single, and it is kind of fucking crazy that we have to go to such an extreme to like get rid of the narrative that we had before, that like a girl was only worthy if they had a relationship. And that, like I said, that article did say a lot for, you know, what is appropriate to post on social media and what isn't appropriate, like what do people want to see. And I would like to think that we can just evolve into a culture. We can, let's fucking grow, let's finally grow into a culture where we're just being our authentic self, you know? Like, you have a boyfriend, you're happy, share that shit if you want to. You have a boyfriend, you're happy, you want to keep it private, hide that shit. If you know, like whatever it is, I don't want to see girls now trying to follow a trend, but I do like that this article sparked a lot of conversation in a culture that was so male dominated, you know, the man's the catch. If the girl gets approved by having the man and it gets to become girlfriend material, like who? It's like, no, let's spark a conversation. And it might take something as strong as saying like a boyfriend is embarrassing to then have further conversations. And honestly, I really do want people to actually read the article, because the article was called "Is Having a Boyfriend Embarrassing?" It wasn't "Having a Boyfriend is Embarrassing." And the way I even found out about the article was through TikTok, and everyone was posting that Vogue said having a boyfriend was embarrassing. And if you actually go and read the article, that's not what it's about. It's about challenging a lot of different thoughts and the involvement over time. And I think as a whole, having a boyfriend shouldn't be a trend, and not having a boyfriend shouldn't be a trend. But it's really cool the way they went about it to talk about something that needs to be talked about more. And I do think a lot of times that people think that girls can't be happy single. And it's like, we can. And if you're not, you can and you will. Right now, I am single as a Pringle. And I don't know when I'll be in a relationship again. It's going to take the right person for that. So there are moments where I post on social media that I'm single and happy. But like, best believe when I'm in a relationship, there's a chance that I might post, yeah, I'm fucked, I'm in love. No, I'm dickmatized. Someone come save me. Help, SOS. If you see a hand on a steering wheel as a hard launch, someone come fucking save me. You know, at that moment I've been dickmatized. No, I'm kidding. It means that I can be happy in two different worlds, and you know, I can always evolve into something more. And I'm never going to follow a trend to try to protect my heart or protect my image. I've done a lot of really, really, really hard work to like constantly try to wear my heart on my sleeve again, but in a really, really, really smart genius sleeve way, where like I'm very particular about how I share my heart, because that was needed. It's all about evolving and finding the fucking balance in life. I think the important part is like following your own journey, your own image, and like what your heart desires. And there's a million, billion, trillion ways of doing things just in one person. It's life, just in one day. So just stay true to yourself. Having a boyfriend is not embarrassing. What's embarrassing is thinking you need one and that you're not whole without one, and not recognizing that you're the motherfucking prize. And like, you can be a girl and be the prize and then also find a man and he be the prize, because like, I know I wanted two prizes that come together. Like, it sounds like a motherfucking giant huge prize. Sounds like I won the lottery. And I also do want people to not really take one image from the article of like the old way was having a boyfriend, not having a boyfriend was embarrassing, and now having one is embarrassing. Let's not trade one image for another. Let's just keep figuring shit out. That was all she wrote today. That was all she thought. That was all the thoughts that came into this brain. And let's fucking grow. Let's finally grow. This was episode 1 of a new journey. We're all on together. LFG, baby. We traded the T for the G. I will still see you same time, same place next week. We're going to grow and we're going to keep growing. Let's fucking grow. Let's finally grow.